Hi, my name is Sian and welcome to my channel. Today I am doing my TBR for the Owls Magical Readathon, which I'm sure you already know what it is, but it will be linked below because it is kind of difficult to explain and my camera battery light is already flashing, so I need to make this quick. This is probably one of my favourite readathons to do, so I figured it was the perfect time to jump back on BookTube and join in for a second year in a row. So last year I was going for the Hogwarts professor route because I am a primary school teacher in my real life, so I figured that occupation mirrored my real life the best. However, with the current pandemic and the way that, in my opinion, I wasn't really valued as a school teacher, I have decided that in my imaginary world of this readathon, I'm going to pick a different occupation this time around. So the career I am going for is Quidditch referee, which is one of the new ones. And I actually play Australian football, well, not at the moment, but in my real life. And I do always say that I could never be a ref or umpire because it's really stressful, so I'm going to imagine that I'm able to do that in the Wizarding world. I do only need to complete 4 owls for this career path. So I'll tell you the books that I have planned, but I also have books planned for other subjects that I don't need because I'm being optimistic that this is going to be a good reading month. So the first subject is Defense Against the Dark Arts, which the prompt is Grindylows, read a book set at the sea or coast. And for this I am choosing Beauty Queens by Libba Bray, which I think is something to do with a plane crashing and beauty queens having to survive on an island, or something along those lines. That sounds really interesting. It reminds me of the TV show Lost, which I was obsessed with when it first came out. And I've been meaning to read this book for a while. I actually got it secondhand at a book sale for like $1, so excited to get to this one. I'm just going to insert pictures of all the books because I don't have a lot of them physically. I'm going to be reading a lot of ebooks this month because obviously with everything that's going on, it's harder to access physical books and I don't have a lot of unread books on my bookshelf, so bear with me. Okay, the next subject is History of Magic, which is Witch Hunts, book featuring witches and wizards. And it wouldn't be a magical readathon without reading a Harry Potter book. I'm going to be reading Harry Potter and the Goblet of Fire. I know that the theme for this year is Prisoner of Azkaban, but I had been last year when I was reading, slowly rereading all the Harry Potter books, and I was up to Goblet of Fire, so that's where I'm going to continue on from. The next subject that I need to complete is Potions, which is Shrinking Solution, a book under 150 pages. And for this I've been thinking of reading a comic book or graphic novel, and the one I'm thinking I'm going to read, I have a few options on my ebook. I'm thinking the one that I'm going to choose is Lumberjanes, which I'm not entirely even sure what it is, but I've heard lots of people say good things about it, so. And I think Noelle Stevenson is one of the collaborative writers or illustrators or whatever for this, and I've read something from her before and I liked it, so hopefully I will like this too. The next subject, or the last one that I actually need to take, is Transfiguration. And this is Animagus Lecture, a book or series that includes shapeshifting. This is one that I was kind of confused about because I didn't know what book to pick. Thankfully, G from Book Roast, who is the creator, as you would know, has like a spreadsheet where people can write in book suggestions. So this was one of the suggestions that I saw on this. And again, it's another short graphic novel which will help me since I'm just getting back into reading. And that is The Wicked and the Divine, which I believe is about like superhumans or some sort of people with superpowers, and they disguise themselves as humans, so I guess that's the shape-shifting part. And yeah, I think that's kind of all I know. I remember hearing something about this a while ago, like years ago when it first came out, and I never got around to reading it, so now's the time. So those are all my required reading. I'm just going to go through the other subjects and what I may potentially read for those. So for Ancient Runes, the prompt is Heart Rune, a heart on the cover or in the title. And I'm just a super overachiever because the book that I'm reading has both. And it is His Hideous Heart, which has heart in the title and a picture of the heart on the front. and this is an anthology of a bunch of short stories that is edited by Dahlia Adler. I meant to read this last year, obviously never got around to it, but it has, at the back, it has Edgar Allan Poe's original stories, and then in the front it has a reimagining or a retelling from all the different authors. So yeah, I'm really excited for this one, and hopefully I end up getting around to it. The next subject is Care of Magical Creatures, which is Hippogriffs, a creature with a beak on the cover. And for this one I am going to be reading an audiobook, and that is for The King of Crows by Libba Bray. I'm just realising this is my second Libba Bray book in this TBR. This is the fourth book and the final book in the Diviners series from Libba Bray. I've listened to them all on audiobook, and the audiobooks for these are amazing. I did want to reread or re-listen to Before the Devil Breaks You, which is the third book, but I don't have time, so I'm jumping straight into the fourth book now, and hopefully I can just remember what happened. But this came out at the start of the year and I have yet to read it or listen to it, so I really want to get around to this one. The next subject is Charms, which is Lumos Maxima, a book with a white cover. And for this one I'm going to be reading Birthday by Meredith Russo, which the cover is kind of off-white, but we're counting it. And this has got a lot of praise, lots of people love this story, and I believe it is involving a trans character. And I think there are two characters who were born on the same day and they celebrate their birthday together every single year. And then I think there's a love story involved, so I'm excited to read this one. Also, the edition of this book that I have, this is one of the ones I have the physical copy. Look at the edges, like, that's amazing. Next is Herbology, which is Mimbulus Mimbletonia. I'm terrible. A book that has a title starting with M. And for this one, because you can ignore if the title starts with A or the and just go to the next word, I'm planning on reading A Man Called Uwe by Frederick Bachman. But I read Beartown in February for the Contemporary-athon, which is by the same author, and I absolutely loved it. So I did have this book on my shelves and I'd been putting it off because I didn't know if I'd like it, but now that I've read another book of his, I really want to give this a try. I don't really know what it's about. Not that I've given great descriptions of any other books in this video, but it is something to do with an older man who is kind of like bitter about life, I guess, and I think he's kind of grumpy. I don't really know. I just want to read it because I loved Frederick Bachman's other book. Okay, my camera died and I don't want to charge it, so I'm just gonna quickly finish up. The rest of the prompts I don't have specific books picked out, but it'll be easy enough to pick one for them if I end up getting up to them. So Arithmetic, you have to pick something outside your favourite genre. So I'm thinking maybe I'll pick up maybe a poetry. Okay, the angle might have slightly changed because my camera ran out of battery and I only charged it for 5 minutes, so I need to be quick because I think I tricked it into working. Yes, outside my favourite genre, I'm thinking that I'm going to try maybe a poetry or even a horror book, because those are two genres that I read from the least that I would like to try and read from more, so we'll pick one if I get up to it. Astronomy is night classes. Read the majority of this book when it's dark outside, so I can pick any book for this. I'll probably be picking a short book if I get up to this one, or a graphic novel, because I've been super tired, especially since being pregnant, so I go to bed early. Sometimes it's not even dark outside, so yeah, I need something short because there's not many opportunities that I do read when it's dark, apparently. Divination, you have to assign numbers to your TBR and then use a random number generator to pick which book you read from those. So again, during the month, if I get up to it, I will pick a few books, maybe some ebooks that I have lined up, probably graphic novels, because I'm trying to get through some more books since I didn't read any at the start of the year. And I'll do that if I get up to it. Muggle Studies is to read a book from the perspective of a Muggle, which is just a contemporary, which is my favourite genre to read from, I think. So it will be pretty easy to pick a book from this. I just don't know at the moment what I'm feeling like. Contemporaries, I tend to need to be in a certain mood to read a certain type of contemporary, so I'll just wait, and if I get up to it I'll see what my heart desires, and that's the book I'll read. And that is all of the prompts and all of the books that I will hopefully be reading. So if you have managed to watch this video to the end, thank you. Let me know what you're reading for your owls. I've tried to catch up on YouTube videos since I've come back, which, if you're wondering about that, I have a post on Instagram and a video that should be the one before this one, if you happen to be curious. But I don't think I've seen anyone choose the Quidditch referee career, so I'll be interested to know what career you're choosing, and if anyone's doing a Quidditch referee career, let me know. And yeah, good luck with your owls, everyone. Thank you for watching to the end. And yeah, wish me luck, because I haven't read very much in months, and I'm about to join into a month-long readathon that involves me reading all these, plus all the ones that I don't have in physical form, so it will be a fun month. Happy reading!